There goes our ride.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Kingdom Hearts 2 playthrough! So, our ride has vanished and we are at the tower. The tutorial isn't quite over yet. So, the music here is Magical Mystery, and it's magical and it's mysterious, so it kind of says it all, really. Also, you should notice a certain famous Disney character standing at the doors there. We'll be entering into a cutscene with him very shortly. And elements of plot are going to kick in. So, yay!
What's going on?
I sent some of my lackeys inside to see if the master in this here tower's as big and tough as they say. Word is he's a real powerful sorcerer, which would make him the perfect bodyguard for me. See, it don't matter how tough he is. Once he's a Heartless, he'll do as I say.
Yes.
That's right. They're those things that come out of the darkness in folks' hearts. Why, with all those Heartless at her side, my dear friend Maleficent is gonna conquer everything. And since I got me a debt to pay, I'm going round to a bunch of different worlds and building an army of Heartless, special for her. Oh, why am I talking to you pipsqueaks anyway? Go on, Scram, I'm behind schedule as it is.
You ought to find something nicer to do.
Oh, says who? Huh? Oh, it's you!
Pete?
What are you two Nimrods doing here?
What are you doing here?
You know him?
We sure do. Pete's been causing trouble for ages. His Majesty banished him to another dimension a long time ago. I wonder how he escaped.
You want to know how, eh? Well, Maleficent busted me out, that's how. And now your world, no, all the worlds are gonna belong to yours truly. 'Cause Maleficent's gonna help me conquer them.
Maleficent, huh?
Oh, what are you laughing at? Why, Maleficent's power is so great that...
She's toast.
Huh?
Sorry, but Maleficent can't help you now.
What do you mean? You! So you're the ones that did it!
Well, we might have had something to do with it.
Heartless Squad, round up!
And so we begin our fight with the Heartless. They have returned after quite a while of them not being our villains, and they're back. Now, Pete is voiced by Jim Cummings, and be warned, there's going to be a lot of voice actors to talk tonight. Today, however you want to go about it, because there's a lot of people coming up. So Jim Cummings is pretty much been voice actor for Pete since like 1992, I think. And he is also the voice for Winnie the Pooh since 1988, and Tigger since 1990.
Mighty Pete. Who lives in
And
this tower
he's been in
anyway?
a ridiculous amount of stuff as Jim Cummings. He's one of those voice actors that's been incredibly prolific. Not necessarily in big roles, but doing a lot of stuff. And basically, he's got a very good job of managing to copy different people's voices. So he manages to get quite a lot of work. I mean, if you just look at the stuff he's done for Disney, it's just insane.
Wow, powerful.
I mean, he's Ed the Hyena in The Lion King, as well as doing the singing voice for Scar, taking over from Jeremy Irons for the second half of Be Prepared, because Jeremy Irons, I think, blew his voice out a little bit trying to do that, and so they went with Jim Cummings. But, so, if you take the House of Mouse as sort of an indication of the voices that he has kind of taken on over time. So, Pete, Humphrey the Bear, King Louie, Big Bad Wolf, Sansa Monkeys, Ed the Hyena, Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Gorilla, Car, Razul, Tiki Masks, Weasel, Zeke, Cheshire Cat, Rockfall, Mr. Stork, Jasper, Colonel Haiti, Cyril, Proudbottom, Otto, Shungun, Boomer, Porcupine, Sexton Mouse, Deacon Owl, Gideon, Colonel Flower, Sir Ector, King Duke Doc, and he's just everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. He also voiced Dr. Robotnik in Sonic the Hedgehog, so the SAT-AM, as everybody knows it has. And it's just insane. And then he's also the voice of Ray in The Princess and the Frog. He's one of the voices in, like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So, like, he's Shredder in the original cartoon, I think. And he's just everywhere, and Jim Cummings is awesome. Like, really insanely awesome. He's brilliant. But he's not the only voice actor that we'll be covering today, because, as I said, there are a lot. Anyway, I like the tower in the sense of we get to do some fighting after so long of just being stuck in cutscenes. It's not much fighting, and it's only the shadows, so they're really not difficult. But also the design of the whole place is really cool. Annoyingly, I think the reason that they put quite a bit of fighting here is because we're about to go into what I believe is an incredibly extensive amount of cutscenes. I think it might be roughly about like 15 minutes-ish, maybe. It's a ridiculous amount. Thankfully, after another part or two, we actually get into journeying to the Disney worlds. So things get a lot more exciting, and I'm going to be able to actually do some talking about what I want to talk about, which is my experience with, like, Disney films and what I think about them, and also thinking forward to the future of the Kingdom Hearts franchise and all that jazz. But the start's just very, very bland, really. Well, they were at peace for a little bit, and then they kind of weren't. It's how it happens. Also, something you should probably notice is that the command menu in the bottom left changes, kind of depending on the world you go to. It's really nice. You can change it so that it's just as it was in the original Kingdom Hearts, which is just kind of sort of a bland thing, but I think the thing that having it change works brilliantly, really. And it's immediately making my brain think of the chameleon circuit on the TARDIS in Doctor Who, because the chameleon circuit allows TARDIS to fit in whatever area, world, planet it's on. Or time zone. Not time zone, place and time. There we go. So, it's kind of like a chameleon circuit affecting it, really, which is just quite cool. Also, incredibly brilliant character who hardly turns up ever, but from Fantasia, it's Yen Sid!
Hey there.
And if you didn't notice, Yen Sid is Disney spelled backwards. Yes, that is where that comes from.
You are Sora.
And so many people are just going,
Well then,
yeah, no duh.
seen the king yet?
But
Yes, we did, Master.
I feel I have to say it
We didn't
because
get a chance to talk to him.
Yes, the king has been quite.
the start has been very, very, very slow.
It would seem that the task of instructing you three falls upon my shoulders. You have a perilous journey ahead of you. You must be well prepared.
You mean we have to go on another quest? I was looking forward to finding my friend Riku, so we could go back to the islands.
Yes, I know. However, everything in your journey, Sora, is connected. Whether you will find your way home to the islands, whether you will return alone,
or with your friend. And whether or not the islands will still be there. And the key that connects them all is you, Sora.
I'm the key?
Chosen wielder of the Keyblade, you are the key that will open the door to light. This book contains valuable knowledge you will need for your journey. Study it carefully. Once you have finished, we will speak of the enemies you will surely confront.
So, as we have to do this forced reading, I mean, I love reading, but this is really, really forced and doesn't really do a whole lot. Yensid is voiced by Corey Burton, and Corey Burton's another ridiculously prolific voice actor who has done a lot of work for Disney, and basically voices Yensid in everything, and also he does a number of kind of impressions of other people, and it's just insane. So, he's the voice of Ludwig von Drake in DuckTales, and everywhere that character's appeared. He's the voice of Dale in Chip and Dale, and is pretty much everywhere. He's the voice of Zeus in Hercules the Animated Series, Onus in Treasure Planet. He's the current voice of Captain Hook. He voiced the White Rabbit, the Doorknob, Flotsam and Jetsam in the original Kingdom Hearts. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 characters in this Kingdom Hearts game. There's more in later ones. He's Professor Owl in the Disney sing-along songs. He's King Stefan in Disney Princess Enchanted Tales Follow Your Dreams. He's voiced Mr. Smee. He's done Buzz Lightyear in Disney on Ice adaptation of Toy Story 3. He's appeared in Transformers as Shockwave, Sunstreaker, Brawn and Spike Witwicky in the 1984-86 Transformers cartoon series, and he's done Megatron, Ratchet, Ironhide, Brawn, Cyrus, Spike, Witwicky, Long Arm Prime in the animated series on Cartoon Network, and he is also very well known as an audio double for Christopher Lee. So he voices Count Dooku in Star Wars video games, and after this game he took over the role of Diz from Christopher Lee. And as we have more plot going on, that is not all. He's the narrator of Brutal Legend. He voices Zeus in the God of War games 2 and 3. He's Hugo Strange in the video game Batman Arkham City, and he voices, I believe, Brainiac in the DC animated universe, and even more, but I will leave that for now because we are having important plots reminding us what the Heartless are and introducing us to our new enemy for the game. The Nobodies.
At times, if someone with a strong heart and will, be they evil or good, becomes a Heartless, the empty shell they leave behind begins to act with a will of its own. An empty vessel whose heart has been stolen away. A spirit that goes on even as its body fades from existence. For you see, no bodies do not truly exist at all. Nobodies may seem to have feelings, but this is a ruse. They only pretend to have hearts. You must not be deceived.
Nobodies. they don't exist.
Now then, the being you see before you is known as a dusk. They are the most common form of nobody. But there are others, some larger, some with frightening and unique powers. Be vigilant. On your journey, you will meet an alarming number of dusks. They will all attempt to do you harm. Still, they are nothing but empty shells, destined to return to darkness. But the beings you see before you now are different. These powerful nobodies have formed a group called Organization 13. It commands the lesser nobodies.
Organization 13.
While Heartless act on instinct, nobodies function in a higher manner. They can think and plan, and it seems they are working towards a goal. What that goal is, we do not know. The king sensed the danger and journeyed forth to fight it. He found the Dark Realm's Keyblade and with it closed the door. Now he's traveling from world to world, fighting the Heartless as he seeks the answer to the riddle of the Nobodies and Organization 13.
Then I guess we better go find the king first.
But where could he be?
Well, we won't know till we look.
Yeah, and the king must know where Riku is, because the two of them were together in the realm of darkness when we closed the door. You know, after defeating Ansem.
So, before you go, you will need more suitable traveling clothes.
Indeed.
Those look a bit too small for you.
Also indeed.
There you'll find 3 good fairies. If you ask, they'll create for you appropriate garments.
Gorge, Sora, you sure are growing fast.
I guess.
And now we get to go through here, and there's more voice acting. Oh god. It just never ends, but finally Sora's going to get an awesome outfit. So here we have Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather, who are all voiced by major Disney veterans for this game. The original voice actors have now sadly passed away.
I don't care
But
who this organization is or what its plan.
Anyway,
With the 5 of us, I mean,
Flora
6 of
is
us,
voiced by
there's
Suzanne
nothing to worry
Blakesley,
about,
who
right?
you should definitely recognise, because she's the voice of Maleficent, but she also does a lot of other voices for Disney. So she does Cruella de Vil, she does the Evil Queen, or, as is more accurate, Queen Grimhilda, as that is her actual name.
Look who's here, dear.
She's
Sora,
also
Donald, and
the voice of
Goofy.
Lady Tremaine.
Oh, if you're looking for clothes,
She's also the
you've
voice
come to
of
the right
Wanda
place.
in
I'll
the
do the design.
Fairly Odd Parents stuff. And then she's just in a ridiculous number of video games as well. She's another of those voice actors that is excellent at mimicking voices and is definitely used a lot by Disney. She also performed it in Forbidden Broadway
But don't you
between
like
1990 and 1994, which is quite awesome.
Hold on. Are you
Then
saying-
Fauna is voiced by Russie Taylor, who is the current voice of Minnie Mouse, which is awesome. And she's also in just a ridiculous amount of things.
Would you just decide?
So she's the voice of Pebbles Flintstone in the Flintstones stuff. She's the current voice of Drizella and Fairy Godmother in the Cinderella stuff.
No more squabbling.
And it's just insane.
Oh my.
Oh, it's lovely.
And as Sora gets his awesome Kingdom Hearts 2 outfit,
Does look very dashing.
Merryweather, who is the blue one, is voiced by Tress MacNeille, who is Daisy Duck. She's also done the voice of the Queen of Hearts in the first Kingdom Hearts game. She's also in a stupid amount of stuff. Like, it's just unreal. So she voices things in The Simpsons and Futurama, and she's done Warner Brothers characters as well, and she's just in so much Disney stuff. So it's insane. Also, we have Valor Form, which is glorious.
But you will have to discover what they are as you continue on your journey.
Okay, I'll do my best, and thanks a lot.
Oh, and there's something else for you from Master Yen said. Oh, boy!
So we get a Keyblade, we get Valor Form, which is going to be incredibly useful. I'll get into what the drives do at a later point. I mean, basically what they do is they give you an extra boost in power at the cost of Goofy, well, for Valor Form at least. And you get 2 Keyblades, so you get to do some beating up. Valor Form is much more kind of combat based, so you're hitting things, and the drive forms kind of level up variously. They have various means of leveling up. So Valor Form is basically hit as much as possible. And you are going to want to use your drive forms because leveling them up to a certain level nets you extra abilities to give to Sora to use outside of actually having the form on. Oh god, that was quite a lot of talking. Thankfully there's a cutscene, or 2 or 3, coming up, so I will shut my yap now. But yay, there's the gummy ship! Woo!
So you guys ready to go?
Now, just a moment. Because of your previous endeavors, the worlds have returned to their original states. That means the pathways between them have disappeared.
How do we get around?
Do not fear. If what the king suspected proves true, the worlds have prepared new pathways along which you may travel. These pathways may be utilized by unlocking special gates. How these gates are opened, I'm afraid I do not know. However, the Keyblade will serve as your guide. When a beam of light radiates from the Keyblade, return to the gummy ship. Though the worlds may seem far apart and out of reach, they nonetheless remain connected by invisible ties, as do our hearts.
Our hearts are connected.
That is correct.
Got it.
But be warned, as you proceed, the Heartless and the Nobodies will be using their own paths, corridors of darkness, to travel from world to world. They may be attempting to link these dark pathways to the gates between the worlds.
Hey, that's not fair.
Now then, that is all the information I can give to you. Go forth, Sora, Donald, and Goofy. Everyone is waiting.
Okay, let's get going.
Master Jensen.
We sure do appreciate the help.
I have no idea why Jensen decides to disappear there. I guess it's because it looks cool, but it serves absolutely no purpose whatsoever.
Goodness, what's that?
Oh, look. Everyone's favourite Disney witch is back. I refuse to say everyone's favourite witch because, I mean, my favourite witch is Bayonetta, but,
Yes, dear. I wonder who's...
Yay!
Malepa! No, we mustn't remember her name. Oh, dear.
How ironic. Suzanne Blakesley, voicing Flora, saying we mustn't remember her name of the character that she also voices, which is Maleficent. Although I have absolutely no idea how she's getting resurrected right now. That makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever.
That's what we must do. Hurry.
Also, very weirdly, there's two versions of the scene. This one where they just kind of puff into balls of light, and then another one where they just vanish. It's weird. It's in different versions of the game, but Maleficent's back.